I am really excited to be able to speak to Jean-Marie. He is a legendary recording engineer, and it's just going to be a privilege to talk to him, to hear his story, working with everyone from Teddy Riley, Michael Jackson, the list is endless. So I'm going to bring him in, and we're going to start the interview now.
What's good with you?
Good, well. Real pleasure to meet you. How you doing?
Blessed and highly favored. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Are you in the East or West or Midwest or?
I am in sunny Los Angeles.
Okay, it's a pleasure again to get you on our show. We've
Nice.
For those of us who have been fans of New Jack Swing, it's you've got the Elvis followers and you've got the disco supporters and ABBA and stuff, and the music that Guy and Teddy came up with created a following, and so with that following comes everyone has been a part of it, and for those who are also Michael Jackson fans, you tend to get an album and you go through and see all the people on it, and your name became very consistent with a lot of stuff that we were seeing, some of the big stuff. So, but back in those days, not much social media, so we couldn't tell who you were. I didn't think you were French, so but
I got some stories for you on that one.
Yeah. But it's what we always like to do is just actually start from the beginning, like where you're from and your journey into it. So, I mean, where exactly are you from?
I was born in France.
Okay.
So I was born in France, but my heritage is Croatian, so I'm more Croatian than anything else. I was just born in France, so my lineage is Croatian.
Okay.
Decided I want to be the guy behind the scene. I really love being in the studio. And I talked to Abel Dominguez, and Abel Dominguez turned around and said, he goes, look, man, why don't you go to school for audio engineering? Which I did. And then when we got dropped, when we got signed, that's when I stopped working for the Hudson County Police Department.
Okay. So, but why necessarily did you want to go behind the scenes? I mean, most people are thinking limelight.
I didn't see myself shaking my ass at 50 years old up on stage.
So you were thinking ahead then. You were thinking in a band and thinking, I don't want to be doing this, touring us 50, 60, so let me...
Yeah. And also, I didn't like, to be honest with you, we got taken advantage of, and I wanted to be the person that will help the band members. And I still do this today. I learn from my mistakes. Just learn from my mistakes. So that's the other reason why I want to be the guy behind the scenes, to piss people off.
So, how long you went to audio engineering school? For how long were you there for?
6 months, because I thought, so I went in there and they said that they were going to place me in an internship after I graduate. And there was a kid that was in my class that started working at Electric Lady. And I said, wait a minute, I'm looking at a bunch of kids graduating at the same time. And I don't know, and I didn't know how many recording studios there were. I said, let me take advantage of this. So in the beginning of the second semester, I went to look for an internship, and it was Crystal Sound Recording, I think on 20-something Street off of 10th. I started my internship there, and there was another girl named B. I forgot her last name. She was like the valedictorian of the school. And they chose her over me because of the grading.
Okay.
Then this girl, the studio manager, Abigail Reese, said, I don't like how this is going down. I want to give you an opportunity. So I went to Sigma Sound Studios, and it was probably the best thing that ever happened to me. That's where I met Teddy Riley. That's where I got my chops. But that's a whole different story, man. That was everything that happened to me in that amount of time.
Yeah.
Was I got the job in 1990, May of 1990.
Wow.
May of 1991, towards the end of May in 1991.
Yeah.
I'm going to Japan on the guide tour. Hello? No.
Yeah,
I'm going. Yeah. I'm going to Japan on the Guide tour. A month later, I'm working on the Michael Jackson record. So mine came really fast.
Okay. So if we go back,
my story is a really an interesting one.
Yeah, no, that's what I wanted to hear. So, what did she see in you that she said, "I want to get you into the studio"? Why you? It was just a bunch of others.
Well, there was me, B, and the owner really liked the girl more than he liked me.
Okay.
Not in that way, just because he was very strategic. He was very Steve Vaviakis, intelligent guy, makes rooms in still New York, I think. And he wants somebody that's on his level. I'm more of a musician.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And I feel things out a little bit more. I try to portray like a musician's lifestyle. I don't believe in a lot of things that they were teaching me in school. Especially when I started working at Sigma Sound Studio, everything came to fruition to me.
Mm. So were you picking it up quickly? Because if you, okay, was it because of being a guitarist and your amp and the sounds, or what was it about being on the turntables?
Well, it's just like me playing the guitar. I'm glad you brought that up. Being a musician, I didn't want to play anybody else's material except for mine. Maybe call me narcissistic about it, but I felt that I wanted to do my own material, and I had to learn my sounds on my own. I didn't know shit from Shinola, I think that's what led me to think the way I did, because when I started working. When I started working at Sigma, I met Tony Maserati, and I used to make fun of him. He's a very good friend of mine. Hold on one second. He's the one I met in July, and I say, everybody said, "Yo, that's Tony Maserati." He goes, "Tony Maserati? Well, if he's Tony Maserati, I'm Johnny Ferrari." I used to make fun. He found out about it, and he thought he had a great kick out of it. And he started coming more in the studio. And Tony is very precise, very persnickety about what he wants in a session. And if it wasn't for him, I would have never met Teddy Riley. If it wasn't for him. Because like I told you, I started in May.
Yeah.
I'm a runner, basically. I'm like the T-boy in England, the T-boy, right?
Yeah.
I'm the general assistant that basically does all the runs. He didn't particularly like this one assistant that was on the session, and he called me in October. So now, mind you, May to October of 1990, he brought me in. He goes, "Just don't touch anything. I'm going to teach you how to engineer." I said, all right. So I started touching everything else when he walked out of the room just to piss him off. I went to the full force session, and I went in the full force session, and that's how I met, Bow-Legged Lou, Paul Anthony, Baby Jerry, the whole full force crew. They took me in, and they knew I was an assistant. They knew I just started out. They didn't mind at all, but they loved my energy. I made them laugh.
Okay.
Anytime when they needed a run, when I wasn't the assistant, when they were doing some other session, I'll be the first one to bring their stuff back. They really loved that. They loved that tenacity. And there was another guy named Glenn Rosenstein that really was a major fixture in my short stint at Sigma. Now, mind you, Teddy said, "Look, you're going to be my tech. You're not going to be my assistant, so you can get, some money from the label because you're going to be working with me." I said, "Okay, no problem." So I didn't think I was ever going to be on the Michael record. So I met Bruce, and he said, "Bruce, this is my new engineer, Jean-Marie." He goes, "Oh," and he started talking, and he's Swedish, and I told him I was Croatian, and we're listening to the stuff, and stuff sounds amazing. Now, mind you, coming from New York, I've never heard speakers sound like this. When I was in Larry, I was like, "Oh my God, I'm home. This is what a studio's supposed to sound like."